That's not good. I don't care what your bike mechanics are, you can't fix that. You got to get to a bike store. So I made my way to a bike store somewhere, again, I don't know where I am, mid-central United States. And the bike store, I spent the night there. I slept behind the bike store. Because that's all cool stuff. You know, central United States and the western United States, you can put your tent anywhere. Nobody cares. Yeah. So I spent the night there. This is a storm coming. Another thing that happened that was pretty, again, that is kind of more unique to the central United States than the East Coast. 3 times people bought me my meal anonymously. I'm sitting in a restaurant having breakfast. They see the bike. They see me probably fall asleep over breakfast. And 3 times people paid for my meal and did not even introduce themselves. And maybe 5 times people paid it forward, came to shake my hand. One time, a family of 4, literally, the man brought his family over and sat them right there, and I'm sitting here and wanted to know my story. Yeah, I was holding court. Yeah, at that point. It's pretty cool. Yeah. Well, you know, I'm fortunate. I'm a fortunate guy. It was pretty cool. You know, it's more than a bike ride. It's a lot of things. I got kind of lucky. So at this point, I'm at 9,000 miles. Just wanted to get home. I'm 600 miles away. I'm a week away from being home. Boy, I just want to, you know. Another thing that happened about 5 or 6 times is you get these little small towns, like about 5,000 people. That's the perfect size. You don't want to be in a big city. You get lost and confused. 5,000 people, what you're going to find is it might have a cheap hotel. It might have a bed and breakfast. It might have a campground, or you can stay in a city park. Okay? So you have some good options for a town that size. But every once in a while, you get to a town that size, and it doesn't have any of those things. So what you do is you go into the first bar room, because they have like 5 of those, okay? And you just introduce yourself as to who you are, and obviously, look at you. I got the beard going, you know, I'm the cyclist, and you know, the place comes to us very quiet. You go up to the bartender or the barmaid, and you say, I just got into town, I need a place to put my tent for the night. Do you have any suggestions? Of course, everybody in the bar is brilliant, right? They all got bright ideas. So right away, this is a hunter's camp. The guy overheard the conversation because, I got a camp down the road, sleep there. Free. Yeah, free. You know. So that's another option that you use when you're on the road. One place somewhere in Iowa, I introduced, and the barmaid is, you know, I said the same story, I need a place to stay. And she owned the place, she owned the bar. And she goes, well, you stay at my house. I'm staying at my boyfriend's tonight. You can just stay there. I go, well, I don't know. She goes, no, stay in the front yard, you know? So, you know, it's the truth. Yeah. So she says, here, Missy, watch the bar. I'm going to give this guy a lift. So she brings me to her house. I guess she had a couple of things in it, too. And now I'm going to stay in the front yard. And she goes, no, you know what? Sleep on the couch. And you can use the shower, because I won't be home tonight. And the Olympics were on. It was like late August. You know, I go, wow, this is so cool. I said, okay, thank you. You know, I'll sleep on the couch. And then she goes, you know, you can sleep in my bed. And I go, I'm not doing that. I'm not sleeping in your bed. And the next day, so she left me there. I shower and I ate. I watched the Olympics. It's like, that's like, you know, luxurious for me. You know, I was in the desert in China a little while ago. And then the next day I wrote her a big note and you know, visit crazy guy on a bike. And she hit on the website. Like the next day she goes, you're welcome, tell everybody about our nice little town. And, you know, it's all good. It's all good. I wasn't going to sleep in her bed. No. So I'm done here. I'm in New York somewhere. See, yeah, now I'm in Massachusetts. My last ride was from Westfield, Mass to Reading, Mass, which was like 115 miles. The last day, one thing that people ask me, and that is, you know, there's an assumption that, you know, I'm crawling home. I'm gonna pass out in my driveway or whatever. Okay. The truth is, I weigh 158 pounds, and I started at 158 on this trip. And when I got back, I weighed 146. I had lost 12 pounds, okay? But the truth also is, the last day of that trip is the best shape I've ever been in my life. I was in fighting. I was really tough. And I've run marathons. I was a 45-mile-a-week runner for 20 years, but I was never in better shape than the last day of that trip. Now, 3 days later, I went like this, I went whoosh. 3 days later, I started taking 2-hour naps every day on the deck at my house. Yeah, I emptied the refrigerator. I had a jar of olives. It was just, it's ridiculous. Just eat everything, anything that you can consume, you eat, and then your whole sanity and your whole adjustment comes back with the weight. I didn't drive a car for 4 months. You gotta learn to do that all over again. You take that for granted. Pretty beat there. That lasted about. That beard lasted about 1 hour after I got home. And I shaved it. Yeah, haircut and stuff. So that's the presentation. It ended up being 9,600 miles. I figured if I did it in its entirety the way I wanted to, it would be really close to 10,000, and it was. I'm very fortunate to have done that. If you read that one-page thing, that's like my 10th, 12th trip. I honestly can say that I really, I've had a good life, and I don't even have a bucket list anymore. It's done. There's still things I want to do. Not all of them are biking related, but I'm very, very fortunate. And I'm probably, in July, I'm just going to take a month off, and the trip is just about paid for. I still have a little bit of credit card debt, not much. I think I'm just going to go out my driveway with my bike and tent and sleep bag. I'm going to go to northern Maine. I'm going to cross the St. Lawrence, and then I'm going to go up the east coast of Canada. And then at some point the road comes to an end. I don't know how far, maybe 400 or 500 miles. And then I'm going to turn around, catch a ferry, go to the island of Newfoundland, and then catch another ferry, go to the Gaspé Peninsula, and then I'll just come south home through maybe Nova Scotia, cut over, something like that. So I figured to do maybe something like, I don't know, maybe that might be 2,000 miles. And that'll be cheap. I can probably do that for $1,000 because I'll just sleep outside the whole time. Yeah. So that's what I'm going to do this summer. Stuff that I mean, I could do it tomorrow. No, it's not a lot of planning. Not after you go around the world.
Better mold times on before
you better mold, yeah. You're in charge of Mom when I'm away. Yeah. That's all. Good old Mom. I'm surprised she doesn't call me. This is my brother, by the way. Yeah. But mow the lawn. I did mow the lawn.
Yeah.
I mowed it a couple days. Now she wants to do Lakeview Ave. Yeah.
Right.
So if you have any questions, my email address is on there. I don't mind giving talks to civic organizations. I can change the theme a little bit. I've spoken at schools and different functions. I'll be at the Appalachian Mountain Club something or other next month. Yeah, it's all good. As far as the fee goes, it doesn't really matter. I'm still getting my name out there. I just take what comes to me, spreading the word and becoming sort of a little bit of a spokesman for just getting out there. I don't say get out there and bike around the world, but it's a great way to see the world. 10 miles an hour, that's all you do, 10 miles an hour. And I have been in every little cafe. I mean, there's nothing better than that stuff. I have been in all of them. That's what you do all day. I typically average on a good day 100 miles and do 20-mile stretches. 20 miles either to the cafe, 20 either to the cafe. You just keep doing it that way. It's a bunch of 20-mile rides. Sometimes when you're in the middle of the desert, it's not that. So, yeah, I've just seen the world, from a bear crossing my path, and in the Yukon to Eagles in Norway. I cycled to the top of Norway, Nordkapp. And when you're at the top, when you're at Nordkapp, from Helsinki to Nordkapp, it's 1,000 miles. And when you're at Nordkapp, you're about 200 miles north of the Arctic Circle. And I was trying to get there for June 1st, which is like the summer solstice, longest day of the year. Furthest point north. It's the furthest point north on a continuous paved road in the world. And I get there for June 23rd. I missed it by a couple of days, but still. Yeah, there's a whole civilization up there in northern Norway. Reindeer. When I saw my first reindeer, I was shaking to take a picture. You know, a day later, I was seeing reindeer by the hundreds. You see herds of reindeer up there. Yeah, it's pretty interesting stuff. Yeah.
Did you have a tripod?
No. And one of the things that I didn't know that I'd ever be standing in front of people speaking about this stuff. So my pictures are of poor quality at best. I might actually, if I'm going to continue doing this kind of thing, like at the very next, if I go to Canada in a couple of weeks, and I am going to go, I might make it more of a picture-taking thing than I've always been concerned about miles. You know, how fast can I do this, or how quick can I do this? Now that I speak at schools occasionally, and so I might just upgrade my video and picture-taking stuff, and make it more of a profession.
What kind of camera do you use?
Just Sony, something or other. You know, nothing special. Yeah, I don't know what. I thought of the GoPro on the head kind of thing. I've actually played with that a little bit.
Wear a helmet all the time?
All the time. I forgot once I left it behind, and I think it was like Italy or something. So I had to buy a new helmet. And now you get the euro up. You know, the euros here and the dollars here. I had to spend like $85 for a helmet because I forgot on the bench. 10 miles. You know, I'm not turning around 10 miles to go get the helmet. No. You don't like to turn around. Backtrack.
Do you have any injuries or accidents or anything?
I fell a couple times, but nothing, you know, nothing. I registered with the State Department. That's another thing you can do online. I got vaccinations, as you know. I hired a visa company. I bought trip insurance. I did my homework. You know, all the information's out there. You just need to find it. It's there. I knew I wasn't gonna. I was 99% sure I wasn't gonna cycle Kazakhstan. I cycled into it and out of it, but the middle was. I don't know if it can be done. I just don't know. I was gonna try it if somebody said it can be done, but I didn't find anybody that said it could be done. The longest I've competed in amateur bicycle riding, long distance, called randonneers and brevets and stuff. I've actually done like a 400K in one day. That's 240 miles. So you start at 1 o'clock in the morning and you finish like at 6 o'clock that night. So it's 240 miles in a day. But that's on a road bike and stuff. I've done that like about 5 times. The best time on the road that I ever had, you know, it was in North Dakota, Route 2, coming out of Montana. I got a tailwind, 177 miles that day, and the wind was still blowing the next day, 140 that day. So in 2 days, I got 300 miles. And when you're in a tailwind and you're on a touring bike, you don't get that down. You don't go down like those Tour de France guys. You sit right up. The wind pushes you. Yeah. 177 one day, and you know, in a short day, I averaged like 18 miles an hour.
You don't even have to pedal.
Huh?
You don't even
Yeah, you just sit right up in the saddle. But a good day on a bike is a great day. A bad day on a bike is a horrible day.
Then you get the headwind.
Yeah, you get the, yeah. In Romania, it was my longest day. I biked 137 miles in the rain. Because there was no stops, and when you already biked 120 miles in the rain, putting up your tent in the rain after 120 miles and you're on the edge of hypothermia is not an option. I needed shelter. So I finally made it to this town, and I was like this. but they were good. They could tell that I was in trouble, okay? And they didn't ask for money. They didn't ask for anything. They helped me put the bike upstairs, and I just ripped off my clothes, and I got under the covers, and you can't sleep when you're shaking. Your body temperature has to come back. It's got to come back, so I would shake, and then I would shake again, and after about 2 hours of that, I finally fell asleep. And I took a couple of Cipro. I woke up after a couple hours, took some Cipro that the doctor gave me, and I thought that might be the end of my trip. I thought if I wake up with a sore throat and sick the next day, now what am I going to do? I'm in this nothing town in Romania. I woke up the next day, I was okay. But a bad day on a bike is a horrible day. There's no getting around it. Yeah, you got it. That's the tough part of this stuff. But a good day is like, 68 degrees. Like it's been like the last 10 days. So, hey, thank you all for coming, and I appreciate it. And yeah, all right. Thank you, Matt.